Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another Jump Force video. Today I want to talk a little bit about Season 2, the DLC announcement, which has finally been officially announced by Bandai Namco in the form of a short trailer for the first character, Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. I just want to focus on a few things in this video, but mainly I want to talk about the 5 shows that have been chosen to get a new character in Season 2, and as well as talking about, my just thoughts and opinions on the shows that have been chosen, and the reason I think these shows were chosen. So wasting no time, I just want to jump straight into it. First, let's talk about Shoto Todoroki, who appears to be the first character since he's already done and ready, I suppose. He'll probably be out in the next few weeks. I didn't actually expect My Hero Academia to get any more characters. I thought 3 was enough already, but it makes sense when I consider not only the popularity of the series, but also the popularity of Shoto Todoroki himself. And, he's the only character that really makes sense for a My Hero Academia pick. Personally, I would have preferred to see a villain character, maybe overhaul, since season 4, was really good, and I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed that season. But also they could have went for something else. They could have went for All For One, who I don't really like that much, but again, it would still fill that kind of villain spot, which My Hero Academia has none of. You could also go for Shigaraki, who's obviously a mainstay. He's been in the series since the beginning, and even Stain. So yeah, there's a number of villain choices they could have went for. I would have preferred to have seen a villain over another hero, but like I say, Shoto Todoroki is way too popular to just ignore in this season, so I'm sure that's why they went with him. Next up, Hunter x Hunter. Now, I wasn't 100% sure if Hunter x Hunter would get any new characters. I thought it was possible, but I wasn't 100% sold on it, but I am really happy they are getting a new character. This is definitely my favourite series that's in Jump Force, so I'm really excited just to see who they've got. I really enjoyed Biscuit, even though many people didn't want her. I really enjoy Biscuit's gameplay, and I think she's quite a strong character as well, which is always a good thing to have with DLC characters in games. So the character choice they could go for, I think there's 2 main names, floating around, and that's Meruem and Crollo, 2 of the main antagonists in the entire series. I don't really see it being anyone else. I have seen Pito thrown around before, and Netero as well, who I would be happy with basically any Hunter x Hunter character they could go with, Leorio as well. But I think the choice is going to come down to Meruem and Crollo. And I think they'll probably go for Meruem in the end. I think he's been requested a little bit more than Crollo. And I feel like his moveset would be a little bit easy to recreate, even though as a character he doesn't really have many specific moves. He also doesn't have, as many as Crollo. Crollo's got so many different moves he can choose from, so it'll be kind of difficult to design a moveset that encapsulate everything that character can do, and still kind of get that character across. Next up, Yu Yu Hakusho. We're just going to go really quick with this one, because I've never actually seen Yu Yu Hakusho before, and it's not necessarily, it looks pretty cool, but it's not a show I'm really interested in checking out, especially not over a bunch of other shows that I'm currently engaging with. But yeah, this is probably going to be Hiei. Everyone's been asking for Hiei since the game was announced, pretty much. People wanted him to be base roster, he wasn't. People wanted him to be Season 1 DLC, and he also wasn't. So I doubt they go for anyone else here. I have seen a couple of other names thrown around, those being Kurama and Kuwabara, but like I said, I don't really know anything about this series. I don't know how important they are, but I've heard that they're not as popular and important as Hiei, so I doubt they go for anyone else here. And I would love to see Hiei. Just visually, I want to see how this character looks in the game, and maybe I'll check out the show if I like that character, if he is playable. Next up, Bleach, another quick one. See, this is going to be Bleach's 7th character if you add up all their DLC characters and base roster characters, which is going to actually match the same amount of characters for Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece, which are the 3 series presented on the cover of the game. And I guess it makes sense to an extent, because Bleach is technically part of the manga Big 3, which is actually Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. Dragon Ball isn't part of that because that came a bit before. I think that's kind of how that works. But yeah, Bleach, what do I think about that? I haven't watched Bleach, or read it, I guess, and I don't really intend to either, but it is making a big return. I think next year they're going to be animating the rest of the show, or I don't know if it might be this year, but I'm pretty sure it's next year they're animating the rest of the show, so I guess that helps, in marketing that. And also Bleach is just, like I say, one of the biggest manga of all time, so this makes sense, even though I would have preferred many other things personally, but I am definitely happy that the Bleach characters have turned out okay in the game. Definitely enjoyed Grimmjow. Toshiro is okay, but the rest of them is just kind of whatever. But yeah, I'm not really a massive fan of the Bleach characters in Jump Force now that I think about it, but I want to see what they can do with this. Last but definitely not least is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is definitely the most controversial choice of them all. I'm currently watching through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and definitely enjoying it myself. I'm currently on part 3, and yeah, it's really difficult to anticipate who they're going to choose for this season. On the one hand, they could go for the fan popularity and just pick Giorno. That's obviously the most requested JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character to be in Jump Force. Then they could also just go for another part 3 character, just like they have with Dio and Jotaro, and that would probably mean, my prediction, if they're going to go for another stand user, my prediction will probably be Polnareff. But if they're going to go for someone who isn't a typical stand user, quote unquote, they're going to go with Joseph Joestar, and I'll explain that in just a second. Or, like I say, they could go backwards in time and go before part 3, and if they're going to go before part 3, they would definitely go with young Joseph to just get a Hamon user in there. Now, the reason they would consider a Hamon user such as Joseph, whether that's young Joseph or old Joseph, is because when they make these DLC characters, they need to consider how to translate their movesets from the character to the custom character, the avatars that you can create. Because usually each DLC character has at least one attack they can use for your avatar. So they would probably, because so far they have no stand attacks in the game for the avatars, so you can't get any of Jotaro or Dio's moves. So that's what makes me think they might not go for a stand user, but at the same time it's definitely possible. So aside from Giorno, Joseph, whether that's young or old Joseph, or Polnareff, which is one of my predictions, I think the other choice, or the other name I've seen thrown around, is actually Jolene Cujo, who is the protagonist of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, which hasn't been animated yet, and I don't think it's been announced yet that it will be animated. But, you know, given how popular JoJo is, I doubt they wouldn't animate it. And the reason they would go for someone like this is definitely just to build hype for the next season, or the next part, sorry, if they ever actually animate that. But also, when you think about Jump Force, it's actually a celebration of manga, not a celebration of anime, despite, you know, how the game looks and everything. So when you look at a character like Kurapika, who's wearing his suit, he's not actually wearing his same attire that he wears in the anime, for example. And there's other things in the game that are references to the manga, not to the actual anime. So you can definitely see why they might go for a full... They've never actually made a full character who is manga only, so this could be a first. Honestly, I doubt they'll do that, but that is something I've heard thrown around a little bit. But yeah, like I say, I think the choice lies in Giorno, since he's one of those popular choices, Polnareff if they want to go for a part 3 stand user, or Joseph if they want to go for a character who is easier to create and create moves for the CAC. Yeah, so overall I'm very happy with how Season 2 is looking right now. I'm really happy that JoJo is getting some more love, because that is a very popular series. Again, I'm also really happy with Hunter x Hunter, personally that's just my favourite of the 5 series here. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do for that and who they create and just how they create that character, assuming it's Meruem, which I think it will be. Really love to see how he looks in the game. My Hero Academia, I'm a massive fan of that series, but I would have preferred to have seen Black Clover personally. I think, even though My Hero Academia is definitely more popular, but Black Clover only has 1 character in the game, whereas My Hero Academia has 3, so personally I can't really justify not having Black Clover here. I would love to have seen Yuno in the game, and I honestly wouldn't mind it so much, but I doubt this game will get a Season 3. If this game would get a Season 3, I think they would add a Black Clover character, but because I'm not confident in that whatsoever, I don't think it will. Anyway guys, that's all I have for today's video. Like I say, I'm really excited for Season 2 and I can't wait to just get my hands on some new characters in this game. It's always my favourite part about playing it, and then just, you know, jumping in the lab, learning some new combos, even making a few videos about the characters, you know, the character reviews and whatnot. But yeah, like I say, really excited for Season 2, can't wait to see what's in store for that. I am a little bit disappointed that there's no Black Clover, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. You know, I'm still happy with a lot of what's there with My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so those are 3 series that appeal to me personally, and I am excited to see how the Yu Yu Hakusho character could turn out, assuming it is Hiei. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye guys.